What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of StoryBoardEm. This time we're going to be pitching Space Jam 3. So, Space Jam 2 has just been released, the follow-up to the hit 90s movie Space Jam. And whether you thought Space Jam 2 was good or bad, we're going to be pitching our version of what we think Space Jam 3 should be. So let us know afterwards what you thought of both pitches. But there, you're going to go first. So hit us with your pitch.
Cool, thanks, Adam. Right, Space Jam 3. So obviously you need the Looney Tunes in it. What I want to do is I want to take a bit of a different direction with Space Jam 3. We've sort of done basketball in the original Space Jam. We done sort of basketball goes a bit wackier in like a video game type of basketball in Space Jam 2. So for Space Jam 3, I want to go a bit bigger, a bit different, and rather than basketball, this time Space Jam 3 is Looney Tunes at the Olympics. At the Olympic Games, right? So, the story is basically I want to introduce a new character into the Looney Tunes world. And this character, bear in mind, my Space Jam is still very much a kid's movie, right? So this character is very much, it doesn't know what they're good at, right? It could be, I don't exactly know what the character is going to be, but, just doesn't know what they're good at. Everything they do, they seem to sort of be terrible at. Just very lacking in confidence, right?
Is this your lead? Essentially.
Yeah, this is basically the lead. Yeah, so I'm taking a slightly different in that the main character is a Looney Tune itself. It's not necessarily a major athlete or anything like that. So this is very much a Looney Tunes film, less so like a LeBron James film or a Michael Jordan film. But yeah, so this is Looney Tunes, and basically what happens is the Looney Tunes are basically they need to go to the Olympics, right? So like there's a big bad guy that comes into Looney Tunes land and says, look, you need to justify that you guys are a nation. Otherwise, we got to get you guys off this land and we give it to someone else, right? So they figure out, right, the best way for us to prove that we are a nation is to turn up to these Olympic Games and
right.
And win some stuff, right? Because then we come back and we can vouch for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is where the film, just gets to be really fun. And this is what I want, my Space Jam to be less so about sort of one particular athlete, and it's more about a lot of sort of individual training arcs. So, it's like all the different Olympic events are happening, right? So there's like, Elmer Fudd doing, one of the skeet shooting events. Yosemite Sam doing like rapid fire pistol. Probably do like Daffy Duck versus Michael Phelps in swimming or something, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Exactly. Like Roadrunner versus Usain Bolt in the 100-meter sprint, 200-meter sprint.
Yeah.
So I want to do all of those, like cool different ones, like like diving, weightlifting. You'd have Tweety doing the high jump. Like Granny versus Simone Biles on the gymnastics. Like I kind of want that. I want it more to elevate a bunch of different athletes rather than sort of push one thing. Just to show that there's like I said, this is a kids movie, so I want to show that there's all these other cool different sports that you can get involved in, that you can do, and there's a bunch of stuff that you can try out, and kids should be trying these sorts of things out. And as well as it's going to be a lot of fun. And basically, like the climax of the movie, it comes down to the Looney Tunes. They've got a fair amount of medals, but they don't have enough, right? So based on what like the big bad guy said in terms of like you need this amount of medals to avoid eviction, and they've sort of completed all the different events they were going to compete in, and they're just sort of one medal shy. And so the final event that they have is
basketball,
a doubles tennis game. It's a doubles tennis game, right? And it's Bugs Bunny and what did you think was going to be the final?
Basketball, said.
No, actually, yeah. So sorry, I take that back. It's not doubles tennis. It's Olympic boxing, right? And as you can guess,
Right.
the last participant that we have is that new character we had, the one that didn't believe in himself and was very very bad and very sort of low in confidence. Okay. And so the like the third act of the movie is really about that character gaining a bunch of confidence and really making it through the heats, making it through the qualifiers, and then they get to the final stage, the finals of the sort of Olympic boxing. And it should be just a standard. I guess you could, because it's kids, you could probably lean into stereotypes a bit. Like the big bad guy could either be like a Russian or it's like
Russian.
from there, right? But basically, what's going to happen is that athlete's going to pull out and he's going to get substituted by like a wacky Looney Tunes bad guy.
Right.
And then like the final act is just all the like Bugs coaching the guy and all that in the corner, and you can have a bunch of different cameos. Like you'll have Creed and Rocky there as well, giving some support to this character. And I think it's just going to just be very fun, right? Like all the different it basically turns out into like this Space Jam 3 is a boxing movie, right? So the first sort of half is a bunch of wacky Looney Tunes at the Olympics, and then the final act is just this one low confidence, low self-esteem guy doing Olympics boxing. And I think the story, what's going to happen is he's going to put up a great fight. He's going to fight everything, go right to the limit. But I think ultimately he is going to lose. But the cool thing is, like, the kid's going to be okay with losing. Like, he realizes he's not a loser just because he lost, right? He still achieved a lot. He got them the silver medal, which turns out to while it's not enough for them to win, I think you can have another Looney Tunes wacky like technicality, like the Russians get deducted a medal or something, so the Looney Tunes move up in the medal table or something like that. But yeah, I think the story is just for that character to show that your self-esteem doesn't need to be determined by you winning or losing, and it's about you have so much more to offer, and you can sort of gain confidence by trying new things and encouraging that sort of stuff. And yeah, that's I know it's different to sort of usually my movie pitches are very wacky and very with a twist and out there and sort of something you don't see coming. But I think that's just a really nice, really sort of cool film for kids to take on. There's quite a few lessons that you could probably implement in there. And just have a bunch of fun with all the different sort of Olympic athletes, and like I said, Roadrunner versus Usain Bolt, Daffy Duck versus Michael Phelps, Tweety Bird versus Simone Biles. I think it just be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love that idea of the Looney Tunes at the Olympics doing all the different events. I thought that's wicked. Is that all your pitch?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's a lot. Based on some of the pitches that I do, it's probably a lot sober compared to them.
Safer, yeah, a bit more PG.
a bit more PG, a bit more like be a lot easier to get this green lit. But
I like that. I think that's wicked. I'm a little bit annoyed of what you did with your finale, because you'll see in my pitch, but yeah, I thought your pitch was really. I thought it was a wicked idea, the Olympics. I didn't think of that. That's a good thing to choose, rather than just choosing like a sport that they do, like basketball, instead of just that having the Olympics and then all the Looney Tunes having a go at different events. I thought that is a wicked idea.
I mean, it's gonna be so fun, right? Like just all the different events, all the different wacky stuff that you see, all the cameos from all the like great Olympians and stuff like that. And I thought, obviously, because it is a kids film and it is like very much about sort of teaching lessons as well, I thought it's great to just open up to all these other sports that kids can try and get involved in. And again, like I when I do a lot of my movie pitches, I think a lot from like the business angle and like the marketing angle, and you can imagine like, right, just the marketing opportunities and the partnership opportunities that are going to come off the back of that is just going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it's good. It's good, and yeah, obviously bearing in mind that the first Looney Tunes was basically an advert for Michael Jordan to sell his trainers, so. It's,
and the second one's basically an advert for HBO Max.
For HBO Max, so, yeah.
So I guess the third one, could be an advert for like some national campaign, or maybe it's like propaganda for the Olympics, American Olympics team, right? That we should be rooting for these guys.
Yeah. No, that's where your Olympics going to be.
In
the US. Is that a marketing to try and get the Olympics back to the US?
Maybe, yeah. Like we could. This is how sick our version of the Olympics could potentially be.
We will have Looney Tunes here and everything.
Exactly, yeah.
No, that's
that's how we get it greenlit. Like I said, I think it's all about executive decisions here in this pitch, and I think that's just something that we can run past the guys.
That is wicked. I like the Olympics idea. I think that's fantastic. And yeah.
Do you know what I was initially going to do? I was initially going to do like Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. I was going to do like Looney Tunes versus like the cast of Nickelodeon or something at the Olympics.
That's pretty cool.
Like a show up. But then I thought that's just getting a bit too wacky, a bit too crazy. So I thought, let's just tone it down a bit. Yeah, and I'm quite happy with that, with how it turned out.
No, that was a wicked pitch. That was wicked. Are you gonna have basketball at all in your movie?
I think you might just do it like a cameo, like tease it, like like this is what everyone's been waiting for, the 3v3 or the Olympic basketball. But then like something will always happen, and it's just like, yeah, Looney Tunes did not compete in this one or something like that, or the Looney Tunes were disqualified before they turned up or something like that, or they
Okay.
couldn't find the players to play for it,
Right.
or maybe we get a cameo from like Michael Jordan and LeBron James playing on the same team, because they
Okay.
technically have Looney Tunes citizenship, right? So they can represent Looney Tunes, and they
Right.
just win
Okay.
that, like just effortlessly win the Olympics basketball.
Yeah. Yeah.
That could be quite fun.
Okay. Cool. No, that was a wicked pitch. Um,
Mm.
right. I'll jump into mine and then we can compare. So, like I said, slightly annoyed what you did with the ending of yours, even though you like changed it at the last minute.
Mm.
Um, so I'll just follow on. So my Looney Tunes is more of a direct sequel to the first Looney Tunes. Um, so as we know, in at the end of the first Looney Tunes, Danny DeVito's character, who is the kind of alien, kind of mob
Yeah,
boss-ish kind of guy,
yeah,
they like stuff him into a rocket and shoot him into space. And then all the little alien things kind of like join the Looney Tunes or live with them or something, whatever.
yeah,
Um, so with what's going to happen at the beginning of my movie, is we see that same rocket that they fired him into space, land on like some alien planet, and like Danny DeVito's character kind of get out. So it's like directly following on, and he's like stranded on this planet, and then we showed like, and then it just goes to 20 or 30 years later, whatever, however long we are after the original Space Jam. So it's 20, 30 years later, and we see we go to like modern day, and it's like a movie premiere, right? And you have uh it's like a movie going on, and like loads of Hollywood A-list cast and stuff. So there's a few cameos from people. And then you suddenly see there's like a random like explosion, and like loads of Looney Tunes characters run out. And they start like grabbing loads of like random Hollywood stars and steal them, and they just like take loads and just like run off into like Looney Tunes land. And everyone's like, look
yeah,
at that, like, what the hell was that? And I did just kidnap loads of like Hollywood stars. And then we go back to Looney Tunes world, and it shows basically what happens is Danny DeVito's character, who that alien mob boss, he comes to Looney Tunes world, but he's like over 20 years, he's been like trapped on an alien planet, and he's just like working out, getting hedge, and become like this like massive monster thing, like this like
yeah,
monster alien, and he's just come back basically to get revenge on the Looney Tunes. So he turns up to Looney Tunes world, and he starts like destroying things, and wrecking stuff. And then like the looters, what's happening here? Like they recognize that, oh, it's him. Like it's this guy. He's come back. Like he was annoyed like what happened in the first film. He's come back just like he's just out for revenge. Like he's just wrecking Looney Tune world. And then basically what happens is the same thing as the first Looney Tunes where the aliens turn up and they're like, yeah, we're here to conquer you. And they're like
mm,
zapping people with the space guns or whatever. And then Bugs is like, no, wait, you're not allowed to just conquer us. They like there's rules of invading a land or whatever. And so
yeah,
anyway, Danny DeVito's guy's like wrecking stuff, and then Looney Tunes like Bugs comes up and he's like, whoa, you can't do this. Like there's rules of like invading somewhere. And he's like, what? And he's like, yeah, no, listen, we have to give us an opportunity to defend ourselves. And he's like, we have to pick an event like to beat you in. And he's like, no, the only thing I'm here for is like to fight you. Like I just wanted, like I'm just gonna destroy you guys. And Bugs like, all right, fine, we'll make it a fight, like 1-on-1 fight to the end. Like winner takes, like wins the like rights to Looney Tunes land. Like if I win, you leave, and
yeah,
like if he wins, he'll take over Looney Tunes land or whatever. It's like he's just like this massive monster. Looney Tunes like, how are we gonna fight this guy? And then like they show they've got the like Bugs is like thinking like we need a plan. Like they get like the Looney Tunes together, in like meeting room they did in like the first film. So it's basically like a copy of that. They're back like, right, what can we do? It's like, right, we need someone to train us, like we did with Michael Jordan. Like who could we get like to train us for a fight? And then they do some research and they're watching like loads of stuff on they go on YouTube and type in like epic fights or something or box matches, and it comes up and who's like the best fighter they can find to train them. Rocky Balboa. So
Oh,
so they're watching this and I think this guy is amazing. Like, look, I beat this Russian guy, like he beat this other guy, like he's incredible. Like even like 60 years old, he's still like kicking ass. Like, this is the guy we need. So they go to that. So then basically it shows the flashback of them at that Hollywood event. They kidnap
yeah,
Sylvester Stallone and take him back. Like they look through all these Hollywood A-listers. And they're like, no, we don't want them. Don't want them. It's like Sylvester Stallone, like, yes. And we're like, Rocky, like it's you. We need you to help like train us for this fight. And he's like, what? Like, and he's like, and like, no. They explain the thing to him, and he's like, guys, I'm not Rocky Balboa. And they're like, what? Like it's like my name's like Sylvester Stallone. I'm like an actor or whatever. And they're just like, they just do not understand. So they're like, they just carry on like treating him as if he is Rocky Balboa, like just making jokes about it. Like, yeah, this guy's wacky. Like, what is he on about?
yeah.
He's just like, he's just talking nonsense. Like, he was like, he's sort of like, Daffy probably just makes some joke about him being really old and like forgetting who he is, like thinking his name's Sylvester. And it's like, he's like, no, your name's Rocky. Like, remember who you are. And he's like, so he's just training them, and then they just realize like they're doing the there's like the Looney Tunes, and then they're training like against each other, like do the fights, whatever, because they've decided like who's gonna fight the Danny DeVito at the end. They don't know who it's gonna be, and then Lola Bunny comes back, like in the first film where she's like sick of
Yeah.
basketball. She comes in and she's like, "What are you guys doing?" And then they explain like, "Oh, there's this fight gonna happen or whatever." And she's like, "Oh, okay, cool. Let's see what you've learned." And so she goes in with Bugs and then just absolutely destroys him at like some like cartoony kind of comedic fight. He's just like done in 2 seconds. It's like, what are you doing here? Like, this is that was stupid. And then he's just like, it's like, what? This guy's been training us. And they look at Rocky, and she's like, he's not Rocky Balboa. He's just the actor who plays Rocky Balboa. He doesn't know anything about fighting. And then just like, oh, what? Like, she's obviously the smart one. Like, she just like tells him
Yeah.
like, you idiots. Like, what are you doing? And then he's like, so there's that whole thing, and then they just basically from there, like Rocky's like, yeah, I told you guys, like you need to get someone else to come and train you. And they're just like, oh, okay, cool, we'll get someone else. They go and like they come back like 10 minutes later, and Rocky's like, what have you done? Like, and it's just like every other fighter from like actor who's played anyone who's like a sports star. Like they've just
Okay.
brought them in. So there's like Michael B. Jordan's just there. He's like, what am I
Yeah.
doing here? And they brought in like Will Smith because he played Muhammad Ali in a movie. He's like, what you brought me for? He's just looking around like,
Yeah.
you just brought actors again. Like this is about a cameo from loads of people. The film is gonna be packed with cameos basically.
Yeah.
And then they're like, he's like, no, we need like real people. So then he goes like they get like proper sports stars. Then they go and they get like Conor McGregor to come down. They get like Floyd Mayweather, Anthony Joshua, like people like that. Then like sports stars actually come in. And then they do train them, and then like they're training obviously like because Bugs Bunny, he's like the lead of the Looney Tunes. They're thinking like, yeah, he's gonna fight like at the end. And so then yeah, they basically train. It's like him and like Lola probably like the best ones because like obviously Daffy's like a bit of a loser, and then like the rest of them are never going to be like they'll just be like comedic stuff for them training and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then then the ending is obviously going to be like a fight between them and the what do you call it, the like Danny DeVito monster, whatever you want to call him. I can't remember what his character's name was, but that guy. Then they fight him at the end. It's going to be like they're being trained by like actual sports stars towards the end, and then they've got them like in the corner, like three of them. So it'll be like I don't know, like Conor McGregor, something like that, and then like Floyd Mayweather or whatever. And they're like training, but then like Bugs off like doing like halfway through the fight, he's like not doing too great. Like he's all right, and he's like he's like it's just not going to work. Like this is that. They're like, no, this is what you're missing. Like you didn't need proper sports stars. You've got it inside you. It's like what you need is an epic motivational speech. And they bring back Sylvester Stallone. He's like, he comes in, he's like, you know what? Nothing hits you as hard as life. Like he's like, what matters is about, it's not about how hard you hit, it's about getting back up, because that's what winners do. And he just does his like Rocky speech, and he just like fuels Bugs up, and then he just goes back and out, and then he wins from there. And it's like, yeah, that's like the end of just when he fights Danny DeVito, and Rocky just gives him the epic motivational speech, and he wins from that. That's why I was annoyed at the end of your movie. You kind of stole a little bit of mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fine. So it is like a fight movie. So it doesn't matter if it's like an MMA kind of fight or a boxing match, but it's going to be more cartoony anyway. So there's no like, it's not like official rules or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll fight at the end, and like same as like Space Jam, where it was like in like a basketball court with like a massive crowd and stuff. He'd be the same as that, but just like loads of cameos from people. Um, yeah, that
Yeah.
was it. So yeah, it's a big fight with like the Danny DeVito from the first film coming back. That's my pitch.
Yeah, no, that was really good. I think as you were saying it, I was thinking, yeah, like Conor McGregor would be the perfect sort of co-star for this, or like Floyd Mayweather. So I was when you called him Rocky, I was really like, oh, and I love the motivational speech at the end. Like I think that's perfect. Um, yeah, I think one criticism I'll probably have is I know you said you obviously get the training montage with them, but it's like because boxing is very like it's a one-to-one thing, isn't it? So it becomes very much a Bugs Bunny movie,
It
less
is,
so.
yeah. So it's more focused on Bugs Bunny, like towards the end. Like
Hmm,
obviously the Looney Tunes like in it. Um,
yeah,
but I think like because the first few are like focused on Michael Jordan or LeBron, like there's not this one isn't focused on similar to yours. This is not focused on a sports star. Like Rocky's in it, or Sylvester Stallone is
yeah,
in it, like as Rocky or whatever. But he's not like the star. He's like in the beginning. Then there's other people come in. There's other celebrity cameos. It's like it is like a Bugs Bunny movie more than
hmm,
anything else. Yeah, just the other
yeah,
Looney Tunes are just kind of around like for jokes and stuff.
yeah.
And then yeah,
No,
it's just like it's more like a Danny DeVito kind of versus Bugs Bunny kind of thing.
no, okay, yeah. If you pitch it like that, that's yeah, no, that's really cool. 'Cause you can just imagine like all the shenanigans, like Bugs in the corner, like like absolutely getting smacked. You know what I thought would be pretty cool is you know how they you said they call in like Conor McGregor and Floyd and everyone, right?
Yeah,
What I thought would be pretty cool is if like they each take like they just take turns fighting. Oh, by the way, the guy's Danny DeVito's character is Mr. Swackhammer.
is
So if
he?
they all, yeah, I've just checked out now. So if they all like, if they were like, yeah, Connor, you need to like go and fight Mr. Swackhammer for us, and Mr. Swackhammer just like flattens Conor McGregor,
Right.
and like he's gone, and like they bring in Floyd, and same thing happens with Floyd and Anthony Joshua, and it's like, yeah, like they're not loony enough, like they can't survive against him, so it has to be one of us.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that'd be pretty funny as well. Uh,
Yeah, we could do that. And that, I was just thinking as well, like in he'd have to have like a team of three in his corner as well, like for the rules. So he can bring in like I don't know, it's like an evil squad, like it's as opposed to just like all three Rocky villains or something. So it's like the Mr. T from the third film, Ivan Drago from the fourth
yeah,
film, and then
yeah,
Terry Morrison can't beat it because he's dead. But
yeah.
the who else in the I don't know who's the villain from Creed? Tony Bellews in it, the villain in Creed, yeah, me and Tony Bellew. Like just them three characters just like in his corner. They just like don't know what they're doing either. But he's just like
Yeah,
he just brings them in for the evil look, like just to look evil
yeah.
behind him.
No, I mean, it'd be hilarious, like, because you can imagine, like Porky Pig doing the ring announcement, isn't it? Like in blue corner,
Yeah,
and like that, like some of the Looney Tunes, like doing concession, selling popcorn and stuff. Daffy being like the arena manager and comment. Yeah, I mean, it could be a lot of fun. I think a lot of cameras. Yeah, I really love the Rocky Balboa motivational speech at the end.
yeah. I just wanted like the first half of the film, him just trying to convince them that he's not like a real, like he has no combat
Yeah,
experience. He's just an actor. And they're just like, no, like look at these videos. You're Rocky Balboa. You defeated this guy in Russia. Like you defeated this guy. Like we've seen you training. And then obviously it's going to be like with the training montage, it's going to be the Rocky music where they train and everything. And then
yeah,
Eye of the Tiger at the end.
yeah. No, I would love to watch that movie. I think that movie would be hilarious.
Yeah. So it's difficult to do because it was difficult, like you said, with boxing being a single person sport, like it is going to be more
Yeah,
focused on bugs. Like Olympics was a wicked choice because you can have all the like Looney Tunes characters taking part and competing. I love that. But yeah, I thought this one just a little bit of a twist to have the kind of
yeah,
them bringing Rocky Balboa, who isn't a real
yeah,
person.
yeah. No,
Which
I think it's a great. I love that pitch as well.
cool. So that's both pitches, guys. Let us know what you think of each one, which one you think was best. And as always, we'll be back with another episode.
So, guys.